I promise you, the coaches will coach better in order because they know they're going to get recognition. You're going to be on national TV. They have all the reason to come in and wax the Cowboys and wax their ass. So I'm telling you right now, you better play like you're playing the Super Bowl and do not give up. And if there's anybody that's ready to play on this team, that's why you went to training camp. You took your ass to training camp to make the football team so you can play. So get your ass out there on the field and play. And stop playing around with, I don't know if he should play. Well, hell, if he on the team, he better get his ass out there and play.
What's up, man? What's up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Hey, Kelly K9. If you guys don't know, apologize we're late, but my man Kelly's been dealing with some major weather issues in his town. Been without power, couldn't even work today, but he found a way to get some internet. We, ran some cables outside because the show must go on. It's too important, right, Kelly?
Oh, yeah, man. It has been an insane last 24 hours. If you guys have watched the Weather Channel and just Google Omaha, Nebraska, and you'll see countless videos, crazy things. I was actually on the way home yesterday with my son, literally on the way. Transformer blew up in front of us. An electrical line busted loose. Sparks were going. This line was flying everywhere. There's sticks and branches hitting my car as we're driving home. Thank God we made it home safe. No casualties or anything like that. But 209,000 people without power last night. We're still Omaha's only about a little less than 500,000. We still got 115,000 people without power currently right now, and they're looking at probably, I just heard something today, they're saying it could take up to 7 days to fully restore power throughout the city of Omaha. So 100-mile-an-hour winds. It was they said the winds were the strength of a Class 1 hurricane. It was something that I've never in my life been a part, and I don't think I ever want to be a part of it again. It was pretty damn scary, but hey, I'm here. Showed up in Cowboys Cave. It took a while for me to get going on. There's been some connectivity issues, some internet issues because of all the internet, not just internet, but power outages everywhere. But I'm here, Cowboys Nation.
You're here, man. We're going to get this thing rolling. Football is back, Now we're in full swing. Got a little football going on. You don't have all the starters going in there, cracking a cold when you're in the mood. That ain't going to stop you. And I got a couple guys from the U getting put in the Hall of Fame, so that's always nice. So for me, so it's definitely that football time is back. Of course, you're not getting the starters in there or anything like that, but when you see that first Hall of Fame game, it just kind of lets you know
football's back.
It's back. All the crap, all the other stuff, man. Now it really means something and going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to this year. I was on a show last night, and I was getting myself hyped up, man, because at the end of the day, it's like I said, man, I know Jerry and I know everyone's pissed off and I get it. But at the end of the day, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're a fan of the star, you're a fan of those 53 guys that are going to line up and try and get us that 6th Super Bowl championship, going to compete every week. And that's what I'm riding with, man. That's who I'm riding with. And hopefully, these guys can get it done. We got a lot of talent on this team. Training camp's now we got some padded practices. So we got some stuff going on. So
that's things to talk about.
We definitely got some stuff to talk about. Now, one of the topics early on, of course, a little bit of excitement. We got our man Diggs is back. He's off the PUP list. He's back, and then I want to switch gears to Guyton because my man has been looking pretty damn good. Him and Parsons have been having some battles. So you guys in the chat, give us your opinion. One, seeing Diggs back on the field, man, just feels great. He's one of the best players on the team, one of the best guys in the league. And then when you see the young rookie, making some moves and having some battles, that's got to get you pumped up a little bit.
Oh man, listen, this is night and day, man. From Monday to now, how I feel a little bit. I'm not gonna try to take the leap and just. I want to try to be level with you guys. I don't want to take the roller coaster, be super high and then be super low. But listen, Monday we're talking about some things, and I'm saying, listen, I gotta see it. And listen, I know it's only training camp. I know it's only it's early in training camp, but I'm just gonna tell you, man, my man out there, Tyler Guyton, looking like Stonewall Jackson on Micah Parsons. on Micah Parsons. I'm getting pumped up about that. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the history of the Dallas Cowboys and their first-round offensive line picks, and I'm thinking, did we just draft a Tyron Smith clone out here at left tackle? Because if we did, it's going to be a problem for the rest of the NFC East. And again, I understand it's early. I understand Tyler Guyton's probably going to have some hiccups, have a little hiccups along the way. But Cowboys fans, you got to be a little bit pumped up about what we're seeing at that left tackle position, especially when they were initially starting to give Chuma the starting reps at the left tackle. I think that's going to change very quickly. Just from what I've seen, Tyler Guyton going up against Micah Parsons, I mean, that's one of the best pass rushers in the league, and the rookie was holding his own. So absolutely, Mike, I am pumped up. I didn't even need you to walk through the door and hit the double knee. I'm already pumped up. I'm ready to talk about it. What do you think about that young rookie out there stonewalling old Michael Parsons out there?
Well, and I tell you, the what he reminds me of, and guys, again, I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit. I don't want to get too excited. But his attitude and tenacity, it reminds me of Eric Williams. He reminds me of Eric Williams. What's up, Tuck? Tuck better get ready. Some teams are coming for his ass. So, but yeah, Eric Williams is what he kind of reminds me. I know Eric Williams right tackle. Guy's gonna be left tackle, but just that nastiness, man. Just that, this attitude. That's what we talk about, man. This team needs some dogs, and this guy, again, it's going to be some hiccups, right? It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for him. He's talking to the NFL moment, but so far so good. I'm excited to see what he's got.
I am too. And again, like I said, I mean, I don't want to sit there and I don't want to I don't want to go from 0 to 100 real quick, but I mean, I'm just saying what I've seen from Guyton early on looks very promising. And you look at this Dallas Cowboys draft history when it comes to drafting offensive linemen, they just don't miss. So you look at a guy like Tyler Smith and you look at all the adversity and you look at all the doubt that he had coming into the league. They throw him in at left tackle because of a Tyron Smith injury. He comes in, boom, and you're sitting there like, whoa, this guy's playing above and beyond what we expected. And now you've got a similar situation with Tyler Guyton. He's a young rookie. You've got Tyron Smith moving on to the New York Jets, and you're thinking to yourself, do we have a left tackle problem? Is the rookie going to come in and be able to protect Dak Prescott's blind side? Now, again, we have not played one regular season game. We haven't even played a preseason game. It is very early on, but it is promising what you're seeing from a guy that is big and physical of a specimen is Tyler Guyton. And to have that little bit of nasty with it, to have that Kevin Gogan-ish type nasty, you know what I'm saying? Big nasty. It's just very encouraging, man. And it's uplifting my spirits because I wanted to see some things from some of these young guys, and I'm seeing it in him. Now what I want to see and what I'd like to actually, mention is, when it's speaking of other young guys, just yesterday in training camp, you see a guy we've been talking about, depth, who's going to snag some spots. You've got a guy in Jalen Tolbert, 3 touchdown passes, 3 touchdown receptions in training camp. Jalen Tolbert is looking pretty good early on in camp. Again, I understand it's camp, but let's flash back to last season. Had some flashes towards the end of the season and some big catches. Now you've got a guy who you hope can grab the reins, who we all want to grab the reins, who is accepting and stepping up to the challenge in training camp. 3 touchdown passes, and these were some nice touchdown grabs by Jalen Tolbert, looking good early on. Just positive things from the Cowboys, and that's what we want to see. You have an injury like Sam Williams, you want to see some positivity from training camp. These are the things we got to focus on, is these positive things. And I'm loving what I'm seeing early on out of some of these guys that we need to step up. We need we need these key guys to be role players in this offense or defense in 2024, and we're seeing some of that early on.
No, absolutely. And again, shout out to our man Tuck. You guys know CFO Sports. You guys should be subscribed to it. I know anyone who's a follower of us is subscribed to it, but if you're not, make sure you check it out. The only problem with him is he's a Knoll. That's the only problem with him. But we can. Hey,
listen, I'm gonna say this, man. I seen Tuck earlier this year. He said he's gonna blame it on me that I picked because I picked the Ravens game. He said, why didn't we pick the Giants game? Or he's like, we should have picked a game that's easy, that's a layup. We want a challenge, Tuck.
We want a challenge, man.
We want a challenge. We want to step in there and show the world what's up in 2024 and put the smackdown on Lamar Jackson, the guy that won the MVP over the quarterback that should have won the MVP in the NFL in 2023 in Dak Prescott. We trying to come there. Everybody wanted Derrick Henry to be our running back. Like, we want to come in there and we want to show the Ravens at AT&T Stadium who running the NFL this year. So we want to challenge. Mike's going to be there for the challenge. Tuck going to be there for the challenge.
Well, and the thing is, we were, we don't back down from challenges. We went our first annual Cowboys Cave tailgate party. We were ready to slay the dragon. It was going to be Aaron Rodgers coming back to AT&T. Now, unfortunately, he got hurt. We can't help that. I mean, we can't help that, but we don't back down. We want the toughest competition coming, because when we come with the Cowboys Cave tailgate party, we bring in the heat, we bring in the noise, we bring in the hype, we bring in the hammer. And we're going to make sure the crowd is hyped up and ready to roll. And that's going to be a great game. So, again, you guys that are rolling out there for the Ravens game, you need to make sure you come by the Cowboys Cave tailgate party. Details will follow, but it's going to be in lot 10. We're going to get everything worked out, but definitely check it out. One other thing, one shameless plug, and then we're going to get back to business. But, sometimes you got to pay the bills. I talked a little bit about it. We've got an opportunity working with, where are they at? Let me get it back up here. Let me see. Working with Autograph. And it's a platform that Tom Brady started. He's co-founder. Derek Jeter, Wayne Gretzky, Tiger Woods, they're all advisors on it. And what it is basically, instead of going to ESPN, NFL.com, and all this other stuff, it's an app that brings everything to you. So you can pick your favorite team. I got the Cowboys and the Canes already locked up. So I get all my Canes info. I get my Cowboys info. You get the podcast. You get all this stuff. They're hopefully, if your boys do it right and you guys get on there and you get in here and do it, they're going to be putting some of our content on there. The Cowboys Cave will be represented, so it's going to be a huge opportunity. So all you got to do, I made it simple for you. Go to cowboyscave.com. All you got to do is click. When the website comes up, you're going to see that thing to sign up. Click on the link. It takes you there. Reference Mike Tag, and you guys are signed up, and you're good to go. And like I said, they're keeping track of it, man. You get that thing rolling, we are gonna be blowing up. And we need your help, but it's a great app. It's free. It's an opportunity to win tickets. It's an opportunity to win jerseys, autographs, experiences. They reward the fandom. So every podcast you go on, every news article you go on that's all related to your team, you get credit for it. So hopefully I'm doing a sales job. I'm a salesman, so hopefully I'm doing a good job. But I need you guys to go to cowboyscave.com and get it done. Help your boys out, because it's going to be a great opportunity for all of us.
Absolutely, man. My boy Mike Tag out here just networking, doing what he does. He's the big salesman out here. He's networking with the big dogs, man. So I'm just pumped up, man. I mean, the fact that you mentioned, Tom Brady, kind of like the co-founder of the thing, and how this, I'm like, all right, let's go, Cowboys Nation. Y'all got to get out there. If you're not on it, there's 87 people in here. There better be 87 downloads on this app by the end of this show, because why would you not, if we can try to bring the content to you? So I just, I know Mike out here. He just grinding all the time, man. So, it's all of us, it's the whole Cowboys Cave family. But I'm just going to say Mike is like the big businessman of this thing, doing big things for the cave, man. Doing big things for the cave. I love it.
You handle all the haters. Like my brother, we're talking today at work. He goes, man, Kelly's crazy. I'm like, what are you talking? He goes, he just don't care. I said, I know. We're the yin and yang. Like, I'm the level-headed one. I'm going to just keep my mind right, make sure we don't get off the deep end. We got the eye on the prize. Kelly just, you find someone goes at you, you're like 0 to 100. There's no, I'm going to kind of ease. I'm going to give him an opportunity to kind of back off a little bit, see if he stays quiet. You go for the jugular. You're going for the knockout punch, and you ain't holding nothing back. So I do. Yeah, you're my spirit animal in that sense.
it's one of those things where I literally the filter just disappears, man. And I listen. I love the Cowboys, man. So when somebody comes for the Cowboys, I got to fucking fire with all cylinders, and that's just the way that I do it. And I have that unfiltered way of doing it, where I'm going to say it how I want to say it. And if people don't like it, well, then, then they know what they can do. I don't have to say it on YouTube. They know what they can do. But yes, you know what, Mike, legit, man. watching this game here, we got the Houston Texans up 17-7 on the Bears. I love the fact that football is back. But, I mean, this football season, man, I don't care what anybody says. Cowboys football being back just means a little something more. And it doesn't matter about the outcome of the season. I've had my negativity and, taking my trip to Negative Town and said I need to. But honestly, this what we're doing right now, this is what I love. The people in the chat, this is what I love. The connections we make, this is what I love. This is what I live for, man. It's what I live for. It's the connections. It's the relationships that we built, that we continue to make. It's the content that we're able to make. It's the interviews that have been brought to the Cowboys cave. I am blessed to be able to talk to some of the Cowboys greats and Super Bowl champions. This is it, man. This is what I bask in. And I'm so thankful, man, that football is finally back. It's preseason. That means regular season's around the corner. And I'm just ready to go, man. I'm just ready.
It's going to be fun. College football EA. Your boy is 2-0. I'm in a dynasty league that Nick started. I took care of Georgia. I had to be Clemson. You know how hard it is for me to be Clemson, being a Miami Hurricane fan, but I took care of Georgia. I played my second game. I wiped the mat with Appalachia State. So, Tuck might be, I guess he didn't want to be part of the league because he knew what was coming. The family. It's funny because my son is like my offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, right? So he's in my head. So I make him sit there because he kind of gives me the tricks because I'm still kind of figuring the things out, but I follow his lead, but I'm running the show. So I don't know crybaby saying my kids had, playing for, I play the games and whooping some ass. So I will, yeah. Mikey told me that it was a double overtime. It was some crazy game.
That's fine. He said
if he played it again, the story would be different. I know it'd be different for me because I'm not losing. I ain't losing, especially if I'm the Canes. There ain't no way I'm gonna lose.
Listen, I saw Tuck though talking about how this is a young man's game. He said it's a young man's game, and I started laughing because I ain't played it yet. I've yet to play it. It was a game that I loved back in the day. I've yet to play it. I'm going to. It's on my list. I'm definitely gonna play it, but I've been watching some of these TikToks, man, and some of these dudes, man, that are live streaming playing this NCAA football. And I'm like, man, this is like a brand new game. Like, how are these dudes out here this good, man? Some of these dudes are out here with like undefeated records, like 88-0, 105. And I'm like, how you play 105 games already? The game came out like 2 damn weeks ago, and you played 105 goddamn games? Like, I ain't even played one yet. So I'm sitting here over here just like, and I've yet to see anybody play with Texas Tech, which obviously that's my squad. That's who I'm going to play with. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are playing the game that go with the teams that, that go with the better teams. Everybody seems to be spamming Georgia. They're spamming Alabama. Like, I'm playing with Texas Tech. That's my team. When I play the game, that's what I'm going to play with. If I get my ass whooped, I'll take my lumps. But I do know I held my own in Madden for many, many years. So I'm looking forward to getting on there. And hopefully, Mike, we can get together. He's called No Job. Exactly. Some of us have bills to pay, and some of us have to work these, 9-hour jobs every day. We can't be online all day, every day. But exactly. But I'm looking forward to playing it. We definitely got to get something going, Mike. I'd love to play against you. I love to play against Mikey. Love playing against you, J Tuck, someday, even though I probably will get my ass whooped. I love seeing his highlight videos of NCAA highlights when he's getting pumped up. But yeah, it's just
look who comes out of the woodwork now.
It's a different time.
Out of the woodwork now. But see, Tuck's got to understand something. I'm pulling for him. I mean, we're the old dogs. These young kids here. Tuck, I'm on your side, man. I want you to beat Mikey because I don't want to hear his mouth all day. So, I'm pulling for the old guys like us, man. We got to stick together, but it's a great game, but it gets you, we're kind of circling around and just having a good time, but it gets you back to football is here and it's exciting. But how was it seeing Diggs out there? How was it when you see Diggs out there, lining up? I mean, getting him back is just,
I love it.
I think he's another one. He's got that attitude, and maybe that's a little bit of what we missed, but he's got that attitude.
Well, first of all, I love it. just real quick, not to change the subject because I
Yeah.
do want to do it. Did Caleb Williams not start tonight at all?
No, none of them. No, they didn't really play.
He's on, so they didn't start. I mean, why wouldn't you start your rookie quarterback? That seems weird. Anyway, all right. Well, I didn't see the first quarter or whatever. I turned it on, but look, to answer the question about Diggs, I'm absolutely hyped about getting him back because I feel like it's an addition that is not, a lot of people talk about what we didn't do in free agency, what we didn't, but I feel like the addition of Diggs to a defense that we didn't have last year is in essence, it's not a free agent signing, but it's an addition, and it's a great addition. It's an all pro. It's a Pro Bowler. It's Diggs is great, and to see him out there is very good. It's a very encouraging sign. Everybody, has kind of questioned the fact, well, what will he look like coming off a severe injury like that, ACL injury? What's he going to look like? Because we've seen guys, the Cowboys, come back from injuries. Tony Pollard as of late, Michael Gallup as of late, guys like that just didn't quite look like their same selves after the injury. So, you've got to think about it. Cornerback is a very demanding position in the NFL. What's Diggs going to look like? What percentage of the old Diggs are we going to see this year as opposed to maybe a year from now? And, time will tell on that. All people heal differently and recover differently. So maybe, I'm hoping that we get, 90% of maybe, the Diggs that we saw, but it's an encouraging sign. It's encouraging that the injury happened early on last year in the off season before the season started. But it's not a bad thing when you see 7 on the field. Anytime you see him, run the field, shout out to Tuck since he's up in the chat. I mean, he said, which one do you want to throw an interception to? 7, or Bland over here, 26. So it's like, which side of the field do you want to throw to? And I think that's a good problem to have because you've got 2 ball hawking DBs that are going to be able to be on the field at the same time this year. And that's very encouraging for the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, no doubt. And just to switch gears, we got a super chat. So it was something I was going to talk about, but our man, Mark, definitely appreciate the love and the super chat, help funding the tailgate party. But he says, we know he's not a Dak fan, but when JJ says he's a top 5 quarterback and the best leader, of no viable option unless Dak going to pay him $70 million. JJ's a clown. I don't think he's going to get $70 million. Let's pump the brakes a little bit there. They could have signed him earlier. I mean, what
758, 59.
And I get it. If you're not a Dak fan, I've got no issues. He's polarizing. It blows my mind. Now I'm just going to say, just as just a fan of football, or just obviously a fan of the Cowboys, and I am a fan of Dak Prescott, but you've got a guy that was just ranked like 16th best NFL player by his peers, and and his teammates talking about him. I mean, they don't grow on trees. I mean, the guy was 2nd in MVP. You're going to put everything on him, all the blame on him, whatever you want to put. I don't get it. Find me a quarterback that you're going to get better. They've been 12-5 now. The playoff success hasn't been there. But I mean, we're going to go back to the Packer game. That's going to be the one, because you guys can say what you want about the Niners. That was good defensive battle, play here, play there. Neither offenses played well because maybe the defenses were pretty damn good. I mean, both defenses were lights out. So that maybe has something to do with it. So you're going to go back to the Packer game, and I get the slow start. He came on strong. The defense did nothing. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I mean, damn, man, the guy is 2nd in MVP. He's top 16 in the NFL. He's getting better over his last, couple years. It's like, God, you really just want to just throw it away and hope that you land something? You know what I mean? You've seen Trey Lance. So what's and I granted it's practice, so I'm not going to go too crazy, but do you see enough out of Trey Lance where you're like, all right, man, we're good, man. Let Dak roll after the end of the year. He's playing this year, so I'm not going to worry about that. But let him roll. We'll go with Trey Lance and have at it. I mean, is that
absolutely not? I'm not seeing that at all. Not seeing that at all. Again, we talked about it on Monday, and I think it was something that might have aggravated a few people and pissed some people off. But I said, listen, when people talk about Trey Lance's future,
Yeah, and correct Mark, and I apologize. You don't have to do a super chat to correct me if I misunderstood, but then that's what I hate about writing. It can get interpreted. He's blaming the management for not
No,
for not
absolutely.
asking for stupid money. You sign him. No, I appreciate that.
No, we
Yeah,
agree with that, Mark. We agree with that. I don't disagree with that.
disagree with it. You're right on.
And I just as far as Trey Lance goes, I just from what I've seen, I mean, first of all, we got that early report that he's struggling, and I saw in training camp yesterday threw a couple more picks. And some people aren't great practice players. Dak Prescott himself wasn't the greatest of practice players. It wasn't until preseason game when he got his chance to shine. Look, there's levels to this, right? Dak Prescott is on a different fucking planet than Trey Lance right now, right? I mean, if Trey Lance is Earth, then Dak Prescott is Mars, because that's how far apart they are in terms of talent, in terms of and recognition and reading the field. Like, Dak Prescott has been absolutely cooking in training camp. I don't know if anybody has seen it or watched the videos, but if you can go to John Machota off Twitter and watch his videos, because he's got some great videos that shows touchdowns, interceptions, everything you need to see from all the quarterbacks. It shows, Mozzie Smith reps. It shows so many great content. One of my favorite follows on Twitter. Dak Prescott's just on another level. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I get where Cowboys fans' frustration is coming from in some of the ways that Dak Prescott has just kind of got off to these slower starts in the playoffs. But
it's fair.
Just watch Dak Prescott really read the field and play football. He almost, in terms of how he reads defenses, he almost reminds me of Tony Romo-esque towards the end of Tony Romo's career, where Tony Romo just started really seeing the field on a whole nother level. I feel like that's where Dak's at right now. I really do. And I think that if this defense can hold their own, and I feel like this defense can actually hold their own against some of the better teams, because we've talked about it. When they played teams over 500, they gave up 30 points a game. It was like 29.5 points a game. That's not good, right? That's the defense doing that. That's not Dak Prescott. That's the defense that was the number 5 defense in the league that I feel like was a little overhyped and a little overinflated. If they can really hold their own and do what they need to do against some of these better teams, Dak and the offense are going to roll. They're going to roll. I feel like they have the pieces they need to, and I feel like as long as Tyler Guyton is that guy, then I feel like that offensive line is going to be a good offensive line that can pass protect, run block. You've got, Jake Ferguson about to take it to another level. I feel like Jalen Tolbert looks like he's ready to grab that torch as the number 3 receiver. I've got high hopes for this offense. It's defense in my mind that kind of has to answer the bell for me, that I have the question marks, because that defense against Green Bay looked like a defense that was lost. And I feel like it's up to Mike Zimmer to put the identity down on this defense. And that's where the question marks lie. That's where I feel like the identity question marks kind of lie, and where this team will either succeed or fail. And this season it's going to lie on this defense, in my opinion.
Yeah. And question, thoughts on Mozzie Smith, his role. He's in his second year. I mean, are we going to see a leap from him? I mean, my thing, and Kelly, I'll let you elaborate, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know. He didn't show a lot, right? And there was some issues, right? Some of the losing weight. And then there was some other stuff behind the scenes that you heard about. He seems bigger. He looks like he's put on some weight. They're going to need him. I mean, let's talk about the defensive line. They are going to need Mozzie Smith. And again, I talked about it a little bit on the show before. We've got a lot of Pro Bowlers, and it's great, right? So, I mean, when they talk about teams, we've got a talented team. We don't need a Pro Bowler on every position. You go back to what Troy Aikman said in an interview. He talked about the guys like a Kevin Gogan, the guys like a James Washington, the guys like Charles Haley, Tony Tolberts. You had a mixture of stars, and you had these blue collar guys that just brought their lunch pail, and they were the glue in the locker room, and they were the workhorses on the field. And you need a mix of both, right? You had the triplets that got all the glam, but they don't win those Super Bowls without those other guys. And Aikman was the first to talk about it, and acknowledge that. And I think we got the stars. I just don't know if we have these blue collar nasty guys And can this defense become the bully? You know, we've been bullied. Yeah. Can this defense get that identity, maybe from Coach Zimmer coming down, or a Diggs, or a Mozzie, a Parsons? I mean, someone on this team, maybe one of the linebackers, enough's enough. We're going to bring some attitude. We're bringing the wood, and we're going to be a defensive-minded football team.
Yeah, I think so. I think Zimmer is going to imprint his identity on this defense. I'm optimistic about Zimmer. I really am. You know, as much as I like Dan Quinn, as much as I think he got this defense kind of had them turn the corner, I think, I think that Quinn kind of hit the ceiling. And I think Quinn is a different type of coach. I think he's a little bit more of a player's coach, where I think Zimmer's more of an accountability coach. And I think at this point, with this young defense, with this impressionable defense, you need an accountability coach, a coach that is going to hold you accountable to do your job every single play, every single snap, every single game, every single Sunday. You need that. You need that guy that's down on the sideline. You need that guy that's roaming the sideline. And if you miss an assignment, you fuck up, you've got Zimmer right up your ass. And that's what this Cowboys defense needs. It's a young defense. It is a defense that is still kind of trying to get that learning curve. And we've seen this defense continue in an upward trend each year under Dan Quinn, but it felt like last year they kind of like almost kind of reached their ceiling. It was like, okay, they're good, but they're missing something. They're missing a little something. And I feel like what they're missing was that accountability, was that if you miss an assignment, who's on your ass? Because it wasn't Dan Quinn that was going to be on your ass. He's sitting up in the booth, and he's kind of a guy who's just kind of a rah, this and that. Whereas Mike Zimmer is kind of the guy that he's going to get on your ass. He's going to let you know if you didn't handle that assignment, if you missed a block, if you missed a tackle, if you whiffed on an interception, you got short arms, whatever it may be. I really like that about Zimmer. So that's why I'm, encouraged about this defense. Now, to answer the question on Mozzie Smith, Mozzie is a big question mark for me, man. And I'm not there yet with him. I'm not there with Mozzie just yet. He's got a lot to prove, and I think he's got a long ways to come in order to get to where he's going. I will say this, though. I will say that I think defensive tackle is a tough position to play in the NFL. I think that is probably, along with cornerback, I think it's one of the toughest positions because the impact is seldom seen, right? Like
you're not filling up the stat sheet.
You're not filling up the stat sheet. So it's not like people don't really see that dirty work that you're getting to put in, clogging those lanes, opening up spots for other pass rushers to get to the quarterback. So you don't really see that because, you even look at a guy like Jalen Carter that was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles last year that was highly touted as being a guy who was going to be a complete stud. And while he didn't have a bad year, he didn't fill up the stat sheet by any means. The ways that he affected the game are often unseen. So we just need Mozzie to be able to create that pressure and be a disruptive presence up the middle. He's big enough. He's physical enough to get that done. It's just up to Zimmer to get that out of him. He did it at Michigan. So can he do it at the NFL level is just a whole nother question. And right now it's kind of an uncertainty with the Cowboys defense, but I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I would say I feel way better about Tyler Guyton than I do about Mozzie Smith.
No,
that's
absolutely.
Super early on. Yeah. It's super early on, but I feel way more positive about Guyton, who is a guy I've never seen play one snap in the NFL regular season game, than I do about Mozzie Smith, who, had problems getting on the field last year in a defense that was very weak up the middle. So it's very concerning for him, but we need him. We need Mozzie. So hopefully he can be that guy.
Yeah, we need a lot of defensive guys. Losing Sam Williams. While I was Thursdays are tough for me, so I do know they signed a couple guys, but I don't know a lot about them. I think one of them, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, one of them is serving a little PED suspension, so he's going to miss a couple games, but he can practice, so it's really not that big of a deal if he's missing a couple games. And then they got, is it Al Quandin Muhammad? I don't know much about him, and Shaka Tony. It looks like they signed. They also been working out some other guys. Carl Lawson was the name that was thrown about, and Justin Hollins was another one. Neither are expected to sign right now, so it looks like it says Tony was a 7th round selection for the Commanders, 2001. He just has 1.5 sacks. I mean, I think Muhammad was with the Saints. He's got 12 sacks in 84 games. I mean, at this point, what are you going to get? I mean, you're not going to go get, you're not going to go find another Micah Parsons as a free agent. But it's like I was saying before, we had a lot of high hopes for Sam Williams. We had a lot of high hopes last year for him too. I mean, so at the end of the day, you're replacing 4.5 sacks. So hopefully they've got a plan to do it. Now, again, he could have been an all-pro, Pro Bowler, could have blown up, and we all wish he would, and we pray for his recovery, and hopefully that'll happen next year. But I mean, at the end of the day, he was an unknown too, because there was a lot of excitement, a lot of hype with it, but it just wasn't a lot of results.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, while we all had high hopes for, Sam Williams, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, one game. So it's what a big deal.
Yeah.
Not a big
deal. I did want to address this one right here, though. He said, "Did y'all see?"
Yeah, you're going to educate me. You got to educate me, Kelly, on this.
Thoughts, my instinct is not a fan, and I'm just going to say, there's a lot of new rule implements, or well, at least a couple that I'm not a big fan of in the NFL. The first one, I'm just going to, before we get to that, the first one I'm going to just say is this whole new onside kick, having to only be able to do it in the fourth quarter. You have to announce it to the other team you're doing. I think that is total horseshit.
It is.
Honestly, in my opinion, just remove the onside kick altogether. Fuck it, play paper, rock, scissors with the other team. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? You talking about taking away the Super? Do you remember in the Super Bowl when the Bears played the Colts and they hit that onside kick and they got it back? I mean,
it happened in the Cowboys Super Bowl. It's happened
in many big games, and it's the element of surprise. It's like, what are you doing? You're removing something from the game that, one, I feel it's an element of surprise that people do sometimes to catch the special teams off. So it's like, okay, you want to be an element of surprise. Now you have to announce it to the other team. It's like, come on, NFL, what are you doing here? That, for me, that is stupid. To address the new kickoff rule, I think there's going to be a lot less kickoff returns. I really do. But I think when it comes down to the Cowboys and Kevontae Turpin, who was the league MVP of the USFL, I think that if he gets opportunities to field kicks, I think he's going to shine. And I think it's great for the Cowboys in that aspect, because I think you've got a guy in Kevontae Turpin who is familiar with it, whereas there's a lot of other teams that are not familiar with how to field this, how to defend this. It's new to them, right? But it's not to a guy like Kevontae Turpin. So you got a guy back there. I mean, if he has a chance to take it to the house and you can get a special teams touchdown, that's obviously a plus. That's an extra. That's a bonus, right? That's something you're not really depending on. But if you can get that, that's a plus. So I think that rule works out well for the Cowboys. And I almost wonder if Jerry Jones didn't know that this was coming down the pipeline when he initially signed Kevontae Turpin, if he didn't know that this was something being talked about, because a lot of these rule changes have been talked about years before they actually are implemented. So if that's the case, well then, kudos to Jerry. That was a pretty smart move right there, because Turpin's definitely a dangerous returner when it comes to those rules. But I don't know. I really dislike the way that the NFL has tried to change a lot of things. And
I'm a creature of habit. And I'm a traditionalist. I don't like it. I mean, I wish they would just go back to the way it was. But I mean, they're looking for excitement, whatever they're looking for. Fine. The onside kick is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe that they're doing that. I'm even one with the chain gang, man. They're going to get rid of the chain gang, which I get it, man. Get the technology. It's there. So go ahead and use it. But there is a human element to sports. And it's the same thing in baseball. You got the guy calling balls and strikes, and there's a human element to it, and that's what always kind of makes it the arguments. It makes it fun. It makes it interesting. I mean, we all remember the business card that in the Cowboys' favor, checking to see if we got a first down. So I don't know. I mean, I know you got to get with the times, and you got to get with it, but I don't like some of these crazy changes. I think it's just a little too much, but. It's gonna be to the Cowboys' advantage. I mean, you have Turpin. I mean, you got a guy like Deuce Vaughn too. I mean, you could have them both back there. You can have all of that. So it's gonna be interesting. So Yeah, that was still the best. That was like a Sunday night. I think it was Sunday night. Cowboys and who were they playing? Was it the Eagles or was it? It was a Sunday night game. I can't remember who they were playing. Giants? Maybe it was the Giants. I always play that Sunday night. But yeah, and the smirk on the. I mean, he knew what he was doing. You know the ref I'm talking about. He knew what he was doing, and he became famous for it. And now he's, I think, on CBS or something. He's on. Now he's like they're in studio referee analyst or whatever.
So this comment right here, I just kind of wanted to address. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I do. He said robot umpires coming. I don't think we're too far away from having like sensors put into the football to where it can like actually, because at times where they measure where the ball's at, where the ball is
doing. No, they're doing it right now in preseason. It's now.
Oh, are they already? What?
Yeah, they're not using. They're having the first down. The chain gang. There isn't a chain gang. They're using the ball because you could put an RFID tag in there and a sensor and you will be able to know where the first down is. So they are doing that.
Wow, how did I not fucking know that?
I don't think they're going to implement it this season. They're testing it in the preseason, and then
wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Well, so I mean, here's the thing though. When he said that, so I've talked about, I've mentioned, I think I've talked with some friends and stuff about the fact maybe putting a sensor in the ball. I also think that they're going to start doing that in players' uniforms. I think you're going to start to see sensors that will monitor different things. Like if a player gets hit, that it'll monitor vitals. Like
they're doing it in helmets. They're doing it in helmets now.
Correct, where players get concussions and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. It's a whole new world we're playing in now with the football things and with the safety and you know what? In the name of safety, great. But some of these things I think are a little excessive, in terms of football. I don't know about you, Mike, but I mean, honestly, one of the reasons I fell in love with football was because of the violence. I mean, I like the violence.
They had the hits. Remember NFL films? They had the hard hitting videos and the jacked up, and they always had all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what the game was made of. But I understand. I mean, these guys are bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, it is like, it is a car accident almost every play. So I understand some of it. So I'm not going to kill them. Some of the stuff, I think they should review it, or I think they should have a little bit of maybe a not so 15-yard penalty, especially the quarterback stuff, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Some of the quarterback flags that you get for barely touching them and this and that. So it gets a little frustrating. But hey, real quick, I was always told I got to do it, but I'm going to do this one very fast. But hey, we got 326 people in here. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, share. But more importantly, the Cowboys Cave has partnered with Autograph. It is co-founded by Tom Brady. It's an app that allows you to have all your content of your favorite teams in there and rewards you for your fandom. So you watch podcasts, you could read the ESPN stories, all the writer stuff, the bloggers, all that kind of stuff is in there. Cowboys Cave hopefully is going to be represented on the Cowboys section. All you've got to do, it's very simple, is download the app. And I made it easy. If you go to cowboyscave.com, as soon as you go on the homepage, you will see it. Click that link, and it takes you right there. You sign up, reference Mike Tag when you sign up. That way they acknowledge and they know that the Cowboys Cave is the one that sent you. And it's free. You win tickets. You can get prizes. You can get jerseys. So do your boy a solid. I'd never beg. I mean, Kelly's been begging. Now it's my turn to beg a little bit. You guys help your boy out. I've been good to you. Be good to me. And go there, stop what you're doing, or when the show is over, it takes 2 seconds. It doesn't cost you anything, and it does a lot for our channel. And it's also going to give you great content to follow your favorite teams, whether it be college, pro, baseball, basketball. It doesn't have hockey. I know Jimmy's upset about that. It doesn't have hockey. Maybe they're going to get that, but it has all your major sports. So definitely you guys check that out. We appreciate it. Again, help your boy. Go to Cowboys.
Here you go.
Do it. What's happened?
I'm reading this. Teams now receive a third challenge if they're successful on one of their first challenges, and then the ruling of a passer down by contact or out of bounds before throwing a pass is now reviewable. notable rule changes for the NFL. They just flashed that on the screen.
Yeah.
So couple of new rule changes that I didn't know about that probably most people didn't know about. These are new things getting implemented this year. Interesting things.
Yeah.
Always new rules.
And I know I appreciate the follow on Twitter. Twitter is in there. So what this app does, it pulls all the content, all the stuff within there to give you your information. So it's definitely good. Hit the like to piss off Kelly.
Ultra, you're just making me happy, Ultra. Listen, you know what, Ultra, we go back and forth, buddy, but one of these days I'm gonna see you and we're gonna drink a beer together. We're gonna drink a beer together, buddy. So
Hey, you know what? It'll be a good time. And Ultra talked about the players really seem to be taking to Zimmer. Parsons, I think he is going to bring the best out of Parsons. I think he's going to bring the best out of this defense. And that's what kind of was that slogan of, can we be the bullies? And I think we've got the talent. I think we just need the mentality. And I think Zimmer is just what the doctor ordered for this defense. And maybe we become a defensive-minded, defense-first team. And that is going to be the character of this Cowboys team. And I would love it. I would love it. There we go. Ultra's got the first round. Kelly, you got the second round. I'll take the third round. Make sure you guys, we're all standing. So you just don't.
No, I agree though about Zimmer. Like I said, I think that Quinn, like I said earlier, I think Quinn was kind of the players' rah-rah coach, and I feel like Zimmer is the guy that's more of an accountability and hold you to your, assignment. And if you don't do your job, then he's going to let you know about it. And I think you need that. I think that you need that with this Dallas Cowboys. It's a young defense. I think there needs to be accountability. And if you mess up, you need to know. You don't need somebody to sit there patting you on your ass telling you you'll get them next time. No, you want somebody to tell you why the fuck didn't you get it this time? Why did you miss that? Why did you miss that tackle? You need somebody going up to Diggs when you've got that play where he goes and he whiffs on a tackle with, Kittle and saying, why didn't you light him the fuck up? At least if you try to go for the ball, maybe you dislodge the ball. We'll take the penalty. We just want the effort. We don't want you to sit there and lack on a tackle. We want the effort. And I feel like Zimmer's the kind of guy that gets in there and lets you know that, and I feel like Quinn was just kind of, like I said, I mean, I credit him because he took our defense to another level, but he reached the ceiling, and now it's time for Zimmer, to cap that ceiling and to bring that ceiling a little bit higher and let these players know there's a little bit more you guys can do, and I expect more out of you guys. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Ultra. Green Bay, I'm not going there. I always wanted to maybe to go to the Cowboys draft party. So, Ultra, if you got an insight that it's good, it's worth it, that is something that's been on my list to definitely check it out. So they'd be good to hopefully maybe finally meet you out there, and definitely. And I'm not going to the Vegas preseason game. I will go to the regular season next year, but I know Jay Tuck is going to be out in Vegas. So if you're subscribed to Jay Tuck, follow him on X or Twitter, whatever you guys want to call it. I know he's going to be out there. So yeah, I definitely I'm so many people talking about Zimmer, and I think it's going to be there. I think Overshown is, he's got all the talent in the world. It's just, you hope he's going to be able to reach that coming off that injury. He's young, so I think he'll be fine. But I'm loving the defense, and we're going to get this thing rolling. But what else is on your guys' mind? You're seeing some fights, which I like. Carson got in a fight with some wide receivers. Some of these guys I don't even know who the hell they are, but you love seeing some fights in training camp, kind of get the juices flowing, gets them battles. I say it's competition. Competition is going to make everybody better. And you look at some of these young guys, man, it's getting competitive. It's getting competitive out there, guys fighting for positions,
It's funny because whenever a guy is in training camp fight, it's always that it's they get tired of beating each other up. They get tired of hitting each other, so they start kind of fighting with each other, and they're ready to hit somebody else. They're ready to get out there and put the helmets and the pads to somebody that is in a uniform that don't have a star on it, right? But, you like to see a little bit of that in camp. I mean, obviously, I don't think you like to see too much of it in camp, but I think that, a little bit of that is healthy to mix in. And, you like to see it. You like to see a little bit of that, fire, what we talked about, a little bit of that nasty. I like to see it. Yeah, I'm all for it. I will say, man, one of my favorite plays that I've seen so far was Tyler Guyton putting Micah Parsons on his ass. I mean,
Yeah.
he Micah Parsons is kind of on the sideline shaking his head after that one. Like you heard the pads clash, and I don't know, man. That did something to me, man. That got the blood flowing, and in me when I saw that. I was like, that's what I'm needing to see.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Now, is Chuck screwing with us? Is this lie? I mean, I need 3 verifications saying that Lamb is signing. I predicted if it's true.
Hold on now.
If it's true, I predicted that he'd be signed at the Hall of Fame game because Jerry was going to take it. But I don't think he's signed yet. So now
I don't see anything.
now
I
he's
just
saying soon. I think he's going to get signed soon. There he goes. He clarified soon.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I looked it up. And I'm like, wait a second.
It's going to happen because it's the Hall of Fame weekend. Jerry's got to take a little bit of the spotlight away. Got to keep the Cowboys in there. So I figured maybe it'll be this weekend. And I mean, they're going to have to get. They're going to get it done. I'm not. In Dak, I'm not going to dig into that contract because I think he's fine playing on his last year. If Dallas is fine with him playing on his last year, he's going to roll the dice. And I think if I'm Dak Prescott, I might be to the point where I'm just going to say, you know what? Maybe I just roll the dice and see what happens. Because the price doesn't go down. I mean, it doesn't go down unless, God forbid, he had an injury. Or
it doesn't. But I will say this. I don't know if you've seen it, but I actually saw it from Tuck. Posted a bunch of screenshots. I don't know if you've seen it. It looks like Las Vegas is all in. Their sports writers, their media department, they want Dak Prescott. There was a deal, an article written by the Las Vegas Raiders that the Raiders should write a blank check for Dak Prescott. There was a picture of Dak Prescott in a Raiders uniform. There was a thing saying that the Raiders should not be worried about signing a quarterback that's entering into his 30s or whatever. And they said they should, so I will say the Las Vegas Raiders got a hard on for Dak Prescott right now.
They've talked about it. They've talked, and Ultra said it was Chuma that put Parsons on. I thought I saw Guyton do it too, but maybe I'm wrong.
I saw a clip with Guyton. I saw a clip with Guyton. It was Guyton and Parsons was on his on the end. It was John Machota that posted it, but it was Guyton. There was one with Chuma where Chuma got him, but there was one where it was Tyler, or it was not.
And to be clear, Parson got him. Parson had his way too. I mean, that's just it's just good battling, but you'd like to see that back and forth because again, it just makes everyone a lot better. So you love that competition and what it brings. So there's so much to get excited with the season. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom. There was a question about the crowd, and I was trying to go back to find it. Training camp, Chuck had asked about training camp attendance because Dak and 88 are not being signed. This is what I'll say about training camp because I kind of tweeted about it and just my thoughts on it. But, I mean, it goes without saying. If Dallas won the Super Bowl, that place would be packed, shoulder to shoulder. If Dallas went to the championship game and lost a close game, I think what happens is, hey, man, we're all in an economy that's not the greatest. We all have limited resources. So they're way out in California. Here is not spending my entertainment dollars to go watch practice. I'd much rather use those funds to go to a game. And that's just my position, but I know a lot of people love going to training camp. It's opportunity for autographs, or it's opportunity to get closer to the players and watch some practice and do your own scouting if you want to do it. It's just not me. If it was in Dallas, would I probably have gone by now? Sure. But I don't like flying cross country, but I think with the crowd, it's a little bit of everything. You can have the economy, you can have just, people's money situation, but I think you also have the way they lost. Yeah, there's a lot of people that said, you know what, I'm not going to spend my money, and they're charging you or whatever they're doing. I'm not doing it. So, I don't get excited. Like, do you get excited if no one's? I could give two shits. No one be there. I'd rather no one be there because I have to hear no crap. But to me, it's not a sign of if the team's going to be good or bad, or if the fans are pissed off. What's going to be the telltale sign is opening day when it's down at AT&T and they're playing the Saints. Is it sold out, and is it full of Saints or is it full of Cowboys? That's going to be
that'll be the true test. That'll be the true test for the Cowboys. And I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter about the training camp. I do. For me personally, I kind of got a kick out of it. Kind of liked it a little bit because if you're a Cowboys fan and you know Jerry Jones, you know that bothered him a little bit, seeing some empty stands. And people were like, well, it was on a Tuesday and this and that. But I mean, they showed a picture of Washington Commanders camp on a Tuesday, and there was an empty seat in that whole place. Now, granted, Washington Commanders.
Yeah, where do they practice at?
I don't know. It wasn't near as big of a bleacher area as the Cowboys, but it was more people in attendance than that on the same day on a Tuesday. Is all I'm saying.
But I think they're local. I think
I think they are. But
makes a difference.
But California is typically the home away from home for the Cowboys. I mean, Oxnard has been known for a place. That's why they go out there, because California loves the Cowboys. You look at the time when we played, the Rams in their own stadium. It was 75% Cowboys fans in that place over Rams. I mean, we overtook that stadium. When they play them in Levi Stadium, when they play the Niners, Cowboys fans go out strong. There's a huge portion of the fan base in California that are, Cowboys fans, and it's just the fact that it was pretty damn empty. It was pretty damn empty. So I'm just saying, Jerry's an ego-driven owner, and if you don't know that about Jerry, then you ain't been paying attention the last 30 years. He's driven by ego. He's an egotistical owner, and I guarantee you, seeing empty stands, even if it was on a Tuesday, it got to him a little bit. It probably got to him a little bit. Probably, and maybe, and hopefully that does get things rolling a little bit with him, and he kind of gets some urgency to get that CeeDee Lamb contract done. But ultimately, like you said, it boils down to the regular season. How many people are showing up there versus the Saints week 1? Is it filled with Cowboys fans, or is it 50 there? Because let's face it, there's been times where opposing teams have taken over Cowboys. AT&T.
Denver.
Denver
stunk. They all knew they were getting their ass whooped.
San Francisco. I mean, it's happened. It's happened many a time. So let's, I get Cowboys fans' frustration, but at the same time, I don't want to see nobody take over our stadium. I don't want to see
that would be the hard part. But I'm a season ticket holder and I don't go to every game, so that's and every billionaire is a little narcissistic in a way. Get that word out. But hey, it is what it is. But really, what's more important, Kelly, is Jeff has downloaded the Autograph app. So definitely shout out to Jeff for doing it, helping out the Cowboys Cave. I saw a few others in here doing it. I appreciate it. Again, all you got to do is go to cowboyscave.com. I made it simple. I mean, that's the thing. Kelly and I make shit easy for you. Subscribe. Simple. Kelly puts everything in there. You got to, it's very simple to do. We try and make your life easier because we know you're lazy, just like we are. So it's all good. So all you got to do is go to cowboyscave.com. On the homepage, click the link. It takes you in there. It takes 2 seconds to sign up, and the app is we wouldn't be partnered with them and we wouldn't be promoting it if it was shit. It's actually a pretty cool app that brings all your social streams and everything into one platform. So anyway. So
yes.
What else?
No, I was just going to say, I saw something and it was on Twitter, and it was they were talking, there were some Cowboys fans, and I guess they were a little upset about the thing when he was talking about last year, and he said, hey, it's time to move on or whatever. And one of the Cowboys beat writers said, he said, you don't see Cleveland Browns being the same way, the desperation, the hopelessness, the negativity that the Cowboys fans seem to have. And he's like, suck it up, basically like, suck it up, you're Cowboys fans, be loyal. And while I agreed with the premise of that about the loyalty thing, because I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm ride or die, the one thing that kind of struck me about that is that, are we really being compared to fucking Cleveland Browns fans?
Is that we've come that
far? Is that how far we have fallen? Is that we're being lumped in with Cleveland Browns fans? Because if that's the case, I'm just going to say, man, People can't be talking shit with Cowboys fans no more. Y'all got to just stop. Y'all got to give us a break. Y'all got to give us a little bit of leeway here, because if we're getting all the way down the totem pole and getting compared to Cleveland Browns fans, then we at least need a little bit of a reprieve from people calling us bandwagon, from people telling us that we're saying every year is our year. Like, if that's where we're at right now, man, that is a cold, harsh slap in the face for the Dallas Cowboys fan base. 30 years of not doing nothing, it's like, God damn, like I get where the frustration is, and I get where the irrationality is with these fans and myself at times, why we have these irrational feelings, because we want to win so bad, and it's been that long, and we know what this franchise is capable of. We've seen it in the past, but it's like, will we ever get there again? Like, it's just a kind of a sad reality to be lumped in with Browns.
You gotta luck your way in at some point. Jimmy's not Jimmy. I think he is in hiding. Ultra. That guy takes more vacations than anyone I've ever seen in my life. I see all these pictures on islands and all this stuff, and I talked about
Mikey Tag. Tag.
I talked about this a bunch of times, and when I argue with people, I remember it well. And I'm thankful, but I look at my kid, and that's the unfortunate part being a Cowboy fan. It's hard, but I do get what Dak's saying, or what the beat writers, what people say is it's a new season. We can talk about the Packers and beat a dead horse with it, but it's a new season. It's a new, they got to create their own identity. How many times have you seen Super Bowl teams just all of a sudden they never go back? So, I mean, every year is different. You just don't know how things are going to play out. So, it's a new season, new hope. And I don't know what's wrong with saying that, this is our year to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm sorry. I used the F word. If you should be confident in your team. I know. I apologize. You should be confident in your team. It's like, I got in an argument with a buddy of mine who's a Patriots fan. He's like, because I gave him crap because Milton is looking better than Drake May, and my son was very high on Milton, so he sent it to me. So I gave the guy a hard time. He goes, "That's all BS. That guy don't know nothing. But we're going to be lucky to win 4 games." I'm like, he goes, "But yeah, of course this is your year, right? This is a Cowboys year." I said, I know what I definitely will never say, that my team's is going to be lucky to win 4 games. When we were the crappiest team, I could talk myself into saying, you know what? If Troy Hamburg just kind of maybe has a big game, we got a shot because we got a defense, and maybe we'll get it. I'm that way in life. I don't ever think negatively or not the best is going to happen, because I don't know, why are you rooting? Why am I watching? Why am I investing my time if I already know the end of the story is going to be we're going to win 4 games? It's not worth it. How many 4-win teams ended up in the playoffs and ended up in a championship game, or even ended up in a Super Bowl the next year? I mean, you just don't know. You got to play it out, man. You got to play it out week to week. There's going to be ups and downs, and you just got to see what happens.
And Mike, this is why, as irrational as it seems, and I know many people have said that I'm crazy for saying it, Ultra is one of them. This is why I say, though, man, with the whole Dak Prescott thing, I know what I've seen in the past. I know where the frustrations lie, but if he's good enough to get us in the postseason, if we can just get something out of the damn defense and get a complete game out of everybody, because even in the games that he struggled in, name a playoff game that we have lost where we have had over even 75 yards rushing. The first loss against San Francisco, we rushed for like 45 yards. The second one, it was like maybe 60 yards. Like, it's a one-dimensional attack. It's all put on one guy. It's just, I get it. You guys we want Dak to be Superman. We want him to be Patrick Mahomes, but he's not, right? We can get a team effort. Listen, if the goddamn Bears can get to the Super Bowl with Rex fucking Grossman.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Rex fucking Grossman. Then the Cowboys can figure it out.
Eagles won it with Nick
Foles. With Nick Foles. The Ravens got there with Joe Flacco. I mean, there are many subpar quarterbacks that have done it on a team that is a complete team, and all you need your quarterback to do is just not fuck up. Just don't fuck up. Just don't throw them interceptions. So the fact that people say, well, Dak can never get it done. It'll never happen. Listen, I've seen a Bears team make it to the Super Bowl, Brett Stroman. It can happen.
Yeah.
Crazier things that happen. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls, and I don't care what anybody says. Eli Manning and Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Eli Manning. He is. Yeah. He is. Eli Manning had some luck plays and great defenses that pulled him out of some spots that got him into the Super Bowl, that had him win a Super Bowl. But Dak Prescott, I would put him up against Eli Manning 7 times out of 7. I would never pick Eli Manning over Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's a better quarterback. So like you said, it's about getting to the dance and having a shot, and then let the cards fall where they may, man. The Eagles had that luck run to the Super Bowl just 2 years ago where they got to they played the damn Giants. After having a first-round bye, they ended up with the Giants, who upset the Minnesota Vikings. They got the Giants, Daniel Jones, and then got to play the San Francisco 49ers, who had a quarterback injury. So that's more luck. Because I'm be honest with you, if I think it's a healthy Brock Purdy, I don't think the 49ers lose to the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, they would have won that game.
Don't. No. So things happen that make things happen, right? So it's like why not us? Why not us? It's been 30 damn years. Why not the Cowboys? So we got to have some optimism, man, and we got to be a little bit optimistic about this season. This is a good team. It's a good team. It's a good core. It's got some good coaches. It's got a good quarterback. It's got good playmakers. Like why not us? That's the attitude that I want to have going into this season. Honestly, it is.
No, absolutely. I know you got a dip, right? Are we in close to your closing time?
I got about 5 more minutes.
Right, 5 minutes. We got a little 5 minutes, so we'll get into it. We'll wrap this up a little bit, but I get 100%. And the ride is the best part, man. It's like we go to the games, you have the tailgates or meet with people. I'll never trade those experiences for nothing, man. The last several years where I've been able to be a season ticket holder and then given a platform where I've had the honor of meeting so many great Cowboy fans and hang out with them. It's like I tell people think I'm this wild, crazy person. I'm a very shy, quiet person when I'm not, in front of a camera, microphone, or my phone recording a hype video. I would never go to the mall by myself. Never, ever. When I lived up here alone, I would grab food and go back to the apartment and eat it because I wouldn't eat restaurants by myself. I would go to a Dallas Cowboy game. I could fly out by myself and I'd have a great time. I'd have people to hang out with, and it would be a blast. I mean, that's Cowboys Nation in a nutshell, because it's like family. There's so many people. It's like, hey, man, I'll see you next year kind of thing. And it's the best thing. So I wouldn't trade that for nothing. And I know people can shit on me for being a Cowboys fan. My friends give me a hard time. A lot of people give me a hard time about it. But I wouldn't trade all this misery that we've had for 30 years. I've tasted 3 championships. I know better days. Eventually, we're going to get that next one. But I wouldn't change being a Dallas Cowboy fan for nothing in the world, man. Nothing.
Me neither. Yeah. Me neither. I echo that sentiment 1,000%, and I feel it, and I'm, I just feel like Cowboys fans we're a special breed.
Yeah,
we're a special breed, man. And I can't tell you how many times I get out there and I have people tell me, they look at me and I'm wearing my Cowboys gear and they're like, "Oh, you're a Cowboys fan, huh?" And I look at them and say, "What gave it away? Was it the fucking hat, or was it the shirt? Was it the tattoo? What gave it away? You fucking
hey, and it was great meeting you as well. And that's the best part, man. If I can, I wish I could meet everybody that I've had the honor to interact with on social media. It's the best. We gonna get hype, man. Listen, I got some tricks up my sleeve. I know you guys you're on edge. And I've got some tricks up my sleeve to make this thing work. And I'm going to get you hyped up because we got a big game. I mean, Cleveland how far away? Are we just a little over a month away?
A little over a month, just a tad over a month.
And it's going to fly by. And we're going to get through these preseason games. And hopefully, knock on wood, we have no more injuries. And we're going to be ready to roll them. We're going into Cleveland, and it's going to be a test. I mean, everyone says you didn't play nobody, ain't done shit. We're playing a defense that's going to be fierce. So we will get tested. Guyton's going to get tested. Whoever ends up winning the center spot, who do you think it's going to be, Bass or Hoffman? My money's on Hoffman early. I like him. I see what happens, but it's going to be Hoffman. it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle.
Yeah.
I know Chuck's not playing. Cleveland's got a defense.
Well, you know, and I'll say this. I think the first, honestly, I feel like the first 3 fucking games, honestly, are going to be challenges. I feel like the Saints are nothing to be slept on. I don't think the Saints are anything to be slept on. I think Baltimore, obviously, we know what Baltimore is bringing to the table. They're coming in with Derrick Henry. They're coming in with the MVP of 2023 and Lamar Jackson. I mean, they're coming in with a good defense. Like, they're coming in with some things. I feel like the first 3 games, the Cowboys have a chance to go out and make a statement. I would absolutely love them to go into Cleveland and spoil their home opener.
Yeah,
and get a win over a defense like Cleveland, because you're right. Cleveland's got a great defense, and I think if this team can go in there and the offense can put up some points, Dak Prescott can shine, and the defense can do enough to keep Cleveland's offense from scoring more points than we do. I mean, obviously, I think that's a statement win right there. That's the way you start the season, is to go into Cleveland and get a win. I think that's a statement win. And again, I understand that there's many people that are going to say, well, you know, because there's a lot of people, Mike, that I've talked to that say nothing in the regular season means anything until we get to the playoffs. And I understand that, but at the same time, I think that's a little bit of a kind of skewed way to look at things, because I don't necessarily think that that's the case, because I think that if that's the case, you're judging it off of postseasons past.
Yeah.
Right? You're judging it out postseasons past, and you know, one year is not like the other. Just because we ended up last year in a horrible spot in the postseason doesn't mean that's the way this year is going to end. And if that's the way that you look at it, well, then I mean, I pity you for looking at things like that, because if that's the case, then Jesus, I mean, you have a shitty day on Monday, then you're thinking, well, Tuesday's got to be a shitty day because Monday was shitty. Like, you can't look at life like that. If you go through life working like that, you're going to be miserable. So I'm looking at the Cowboys, and I think that we absolutely can make a statement. Week 1, Cleveland, looking forward to it. And then obviously we know we got the Saints, and then week 3, we know what's about to happen. Week 3, 9/22, Cowboys tailgate part 2, and everybody here in the chat, everybody around Cowboys Nation, it's about to
it's going to be bigger, better, and we've got a lot of great things to talk about. And just real quick, we're going to wrap up the show, but you know, we've got to have these Cowboys Cave limited editions by Cuts by Jones. You can pre-order them now. We're going to have them at the Cowboys Cave tailgate party, but if you can't make it, we could ship them to you. But it's $40. Cowboys Cave bottle opener. It's badass, and Cuts by Jones does beautiful stuff. So if it's not this you're interested in, he can make you up whatever you want. We just have no eagle. That's the thing that we got to say, is no eagle stuff. And then lastly, before we wrap up, Autograph app. We're partnered with them, co-founded. I've talked about it with Tom Brady. Very easy to do. All you got to do is just go to cowboyscave.com. Right on the main screen, you'll have a link. It takes you right to the download the app. It should already have Mike Tag in there as a reference. If not, put Mike Tag in there, sign up. It's an opportunity to keep follow your favorite teams of all different sports, and just have a central hub of data information to stay up with the latest news. And then hopefully the Cowboys Caves content, we're going to be part of it for the Cowboys side. So it's a great opportunity for the Cowboys Cave to kind of broaden our fan base and broaden our viewers. So help a brother out. There's 414 people in here. All I ask is 2 minutes of your time to go in there, download it, check it out, let us know you love it, put it in there, and it doesn't cost anything, and they reward you for your fandom. They reward you for looking at content on YouTube and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great opportunity to win tickets to football games, autographed jerseys, experiences, all that stuff. So definitely check it out, cowboyscave.com. If you have an app, you can go ahead and go on Autograph. Just make sure you put Mike Tag in there. But that's about it, man. We are going to wrap it up. Kelly's got work to do. Seems like he's got luck is going to be on your side sooner or later, but
Well, this is what happens, man. We got kids, and my son called me the other day, and he said, Dad, there was a snap in my car, and his belt tensioner came off, and the unfortunate thing was that the bolt sheared off inside the timing cover. So we have a tap out kit to get this bolt out. The problem is actually getting it done, because it's a delicate procedure that I've never done before. and he's never done before. Where I got some mechanic friends. I work at a shop, so if worst comes to worst, I can probably hopefully get somebody to do it. But in the meantime, he doesn't have a car. He's typically the guy that goes and gets my other son. Now I'm the chauffeur. I'm taking everybody around, everybody to work. So I've got things to do and responsibilities to keep, but hopefully we get his vehicle back running.
It's never done, no matter how.
Never done, man. And school's about to start, so we need an extra running vehicle in this house, man, because I can't be running 55 miles every single day. So we got to get this thing going. But
well, go do your thing.
Yes, you're right. Luck's going to turn around.
If football is back, Cowboys Nation, maybe we'll pop in over the weekend. If not, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, so you can stay on top of everything, all the stuff that we got going on. Have a great weekend. If we don't see you, man, you guys take care. See you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need